I mean, if that lesson for me, probably the biggest one was, and I had to learn that one twice. Don't let, if you're going into the service business, don't go get a huge customer first. Get a whole bunch of little ones. Because if you lose that one big customer, it puts a heck of a hole in your business, and you end up not having enough work for people, and it's just rough.
Yeah. And I've seen that play out in multiple businesses, multiple arenas. I have a buddy who, he has a metal fab shop, and he ran into that same problem where one of his customers was like 60% or maybe even more than that of his business. And he was always stressing out, and he just felt like they had so much leverage over him. And, finally he was able to kind of diversify away from that. And it just relieved so much stress, and it gave him power back over his business. Right. So he felt like he didn't have power over his business because he relied on this one customer. If he lost that one customer, he was probably going to go under, right? Or have to make drastic changes at least. Yep. So that's a huge, huge lesson.
Yeah. And I had to learn, we were kind of so dense. We had to learn it again when a hotel came to us and said, hey, it's a 40 some odd room hotel. We'd like you to do our linen, which we chose to do. And then when they got purchased in 2009, it was just an asset sale, and they nullified our contract and said, hey, we actually own the linen for the hotel as well. They gave us 24 hours to come pick it up. So here I am, tons and tons of linen. And I learned it again. I think it was at that moment that I said, I am never going to have one customer that's over, my goal is 7% of our total gross business.
Yeah.
And once they get over that, I can't take on another until I get enough small and medium customers to diversify that out again.
Yeah.
I'm not having that happen again.
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy. But it's like, that's really hard because, and I think that's a really good kind of guideline, because it's really hard. Like if you're just kind of dinking and dunking along with a few smaller accounts, and all of a sudden you get a big one out of the blue, like it's tough to pass that up. So what do you do about that? Right? Do you take it and figure out what to do from there? Or, so how would you, so let's say you're like back in the day again, and this hotel comes and this whole situation happens again. Would you take it on and then try to go find a bunch of smaller clients, or would you say no until you found smaller clients? What would you do?
I would definitely, if I had the knowledge that I do today, I would pass on it, because I went looking for it. I knew somebody else that owned a laundry had it, and they were struggling with it. And I would just say no. And the reason I would is because, you really put yourself at risk when you have somebody that has a large portion of your business, because you don't want to stress. You've got to be able to pay for, and the things you do have to be profitable. That's the other thing. If there's one thing I could tell, like owners getting started in this business, like focus on your process, focus on quality, and don't worry about the price. I mean, you have to be in the realm of reason, but if you're trying to undercut your neighbor just to win the business, you're going to lose in the long run. So there's no doubt in my mind. Race to the bottom is, somehow Amazon and Walmart, let them duke that out.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great advice. And you have to have huge scale to be able to race to the bottom and win that race without going under. And, by and large, most laundromats or even service parts of the laundromats aren't going to be able to do that. So